Well, everyone, the fellow surprised us yet again. A music video and official release for the song Drag Path is finally here. Originally, the song was only available if you had purchased the Breach digital remains a few days after the release of Breach, and this song was seen by many people as sort of like an alternate ending or a beginning of the lore that we had, receiving throughout the past decade. Religious and Christian allusions aside, people saw Drag Path as about Torchbearer finding Clancy once more and trying again, always, even in the wake of the previous Clancy becoming the very thing he set out to destroy. So, when the boys announced that they were releasing a music video, many thought it was going to be an alternate ending or the good ending compared to the music video from City Walls.
We're going to release it with a slightly different edit to it so that those who bought it have a more original version of it. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, there's a music video that comes out with it that I absolutely adore, and I hope that you do too. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, we finally like the song now.
However, we all know, no matter how you feel about it, that City Walls was in fact the end of the lore at least. The music video we got instead is this stop-motion animation piece from 2010. Masterfully done, by the way, that details the plight of this rabbit and the demise of what we can assume to be his family. Let's go through the plot points first. We open to the beginning with a soundbite from City Walls, funny enough, which I honestly don't know a reason for. Perhaps just to keep us in the mindset of the Breach era, but we see this man in a suit. He's a magician. Now this might be the director of the music video, Tobias Gundorf Boesen, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, that's not important. We open to this sunny, grassy landscape, a paradise, but we see the shadow looming, and soon enough, it is nighttime. Now, obviously, the motif of night is such a huge part of the 21 Pilots mythos. It's representative of mental struggles and the darkest times of our souls. And we're also given the shot of this dog. He's the antagonist, and he represents death. Death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit. One of the most prominent lines off of Blurry Face held within the song Heavy Dirty Soul. We have a dog, and as previously mentioned, we have rabbits. Keep this in mind. We see that our main rabbit character appears. He's dressed in a nice suit, almost in a nervous fashion, like he's slightly uncomfortable or in an unfamiliar setting and surrounding. He approaches a table populated by 3 other older rabbits. We can assume that these are family members because of the fact that they go through what seems to be a family photo album. They exchange drinks and look through a photo album of times in the past and laughing about the good old days, when suddenly the dog cuts out the lights. He kills the rabbits at the table, except for the smallest one, and begins chasing our main bunny through the nighttime wilderness. Our bunny is cornered, until at the moment of greatest defeat, the supernatural occurs. A hand outstretches out of the sky, out of the moon, the source of light within the nighttime. It makes the dog flee and grabs our bunny. We're then pictured back with the man from the beginning, the magician, and he has pulled our rabbit out of his hat, and everyone is applauding. So what in the world does this all mean? I believe that this music video is all about the reality of growing up, seeing death as a reality, and relying on something beyond oneself to rescue you from that raw fear. Let's go back into some key moments of the video. As previously mentioned, the rabbit seems to be unfamiliar with wearing a suit, something associated with grown-ups. In fact, the magician is also someone who wears a suit as well. We also see that not only are the bunnies wearing a suit like the magician, but they also look back and see themselves practicing magic. You see them practicing with cards, you see them practicing card tricks, kind of like the magician, kind of acting in his way, like a magician would. And this is just my opinion, but perhaps it's like a call to like being made in the image of God or something, if the magician is to be seen as such. But anyways, the biggest tell that this is about growing up is because of the switch of drinks that happens, and it happens very quickly and you can't really see it. We see our bunny join the table and he receives what looks to be like a glass of chocolate milk. Something definitely you would give a child, although, hey, I'm not one to judge, and I'm sure many of you associate chocolate milk with your childhood. I mean, we also know that Tyler himself loves a good yoo-hoo. But the second time the glass is given to him, it's turned into wine, an adult beverage. The other rabbits encourage him to drink it, and he gives this sort of reaction that you would see out of someone who is trying alcohol for the first time. So we can assume that he's a younger person in this. But let's talk about the 3 other rabbits for a second. And what I'm about to say may not be true, but it'd be pretty crazy if it was. I just think that these older 2 rabbits look like Tyler's grandfathers. Even if that's not true, we can assume based upon the family photo album that these rabbits are related. I really think it could be based off of Tyler's grandfathers coincidentally, and Tyler's dad. I mean, the dad bunny is the only one who we don't see dying and being taken by death, and Tyler's dad is the only one of those individuals mentioned that is alive presently, but it's not. That's my headcanon. Anyways, we see throughout this time at the table that the bunnies keep looking to and referring to the moon, a symbol for hope in the night. But either way, we see the dog take out all of these elder bunnies. This dog is Death. Again, harken back to the death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit line. This dog takes out the family of rabbits. Death has taken these elder members of the family. You know, as kids and growing up, for the most part, you never really encounter experience with death until it probably happens to someone in your family, like a grandparent. And I think that this is what that's indicative of. This dog chasing this rabbit through the nighttime forest is an image of despair, not to mention the multiple appearances of clocks in the forest, like a fear of death pushes that you're running out of time. We see him fleeing the constant reality of this death and its inevitability. But alas, the moment of most need, the big man in the sky makes Death flee and rescues our friend into safety. Past safety to a place of applause. Now I could preach a whole sermon about how this is an analogy for God saving us from permanent death and through his grace giving us Jesus' righteousness, but I'm kind of already giving a sermon. But either way, whether you're Christian or not, knowing the religious background of this band, we can infer that this is the other voice in the trees, someone that's addressing the soul and entertaining the faith of this bunny. Whatever that hand reaching out of the moon and plucking you from the clutches of death is for you, have faith in it. Hold on to it tightly, and hold on to the promise of the morning, the hope in the night, and refuse death. That is ultimately what Drag Path, the music video and the song, is all about. Thanks everyone for watching. A few things I wanted to mention. This animation was actually released in 2010, and the boys bought the rights to it, I guess. It does kind of fit into the mythos perfectly. So there goes my Tyler's grandfather theory, unfortunately. But anyways, if you've enjoyed this, I'm currently going through explaining every 21 Pilots song on my channel, if you're interested in sticking around for that. I am already to Clancy. I've only got one more album left, and then the singles. Many of you might be coming from the lore video, though. Either way, thank you for watching. Personally, I liked the cut off of the Breach Digital Remains more, but I do appreciate this music video and that we finally got it released on platforms. The video's only been out for a few hours at the point of me releasing this video. Yes, I actually released it within probably 3 or 4 hours of the video coming out. And I'm already seeing so many people online complaining that it wasn't a lore video and that the version that got released on streaming platforms isn't as good. And I just don't know if we should just be complaining all that much. I feel like they've just wrapped up a decade-long lore and that we should be grateful that it's done and that it got finished in a good way, because who can say the same in a lot of other different atmospheres? I mean, look at Stranger Things 5. Wasn't very great. But hey, at least we got a cool ending to the 21 Pilots lore, am I right? Also, we've got a stinking feature film coming out next week. Why don't you cut them some slack? But anyways, subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.